I don't have anything funny to say. There's no humor left. The humor well has run dry.
Do you want like a warm up?
No. Wait,
I
do you have something funny to say?
No, I was just gonna Google icebreaker questions and see if that helps us get in our rhythm.
Sure.
All right.
You know what? Sure. I was gonna say no, but now I want to see what comes up when you Google icebreaker questions.
Icebreaker questions. I found a huge list. What book are you reading right now? How is that? Should I find a different one?
No, that's fine. I don't know what I was expecting. I guess I was expecting you to have to find do you take the icebreaker list and it would generate a podcast cold open for me. What book am I reading right now?
I could
I'm
ask you
reading
if you could bring back any fashion trend. What would it be?
Okay.
Would that get some more juice out of you?
And would it be? We'll talk about it, but would it be cunty cheap how? Because
right.
Boy,
well, yes.
boy.
But like my answer is that I just bought one of these again for the first time in 20 years. How old am I? Yeah, 20 years. I bought a studded belt from Hot Topic.
Oh hell yeah, bitch!
I'm so fucking back. It looks really good with all my shirts. Yeah, I got it, and I worked really hard. I wanted it to be like the classic one too. Like I didn't want any like of those colored studs. I didn't want the studs to be any sort of design. I didn't want them to change in scale. So it's quite difficult actually to find a belt that had the classic 3 rows of silver studs without any frills.
No
right?
rainbow
gimmicks.
colors.
No. Okay, I don't want to see fucking. I don't want to see fucking Has-Been Hotel on my studded belt either. Like, just give me
Was that an option?
the real shit. Yeah, dude, Has-Been Hotel. Well, actually, I mean, I can't even give them too much shit because Lackadaisy is also all over Hot Topic
Studded
now. Studded
belts?
I don't know, probably.
Probably.
Invader Zim, like style studded belts. Yeah, they're probably there.
Yeah.
They
I
have
say,
they have an equal share of Hot Topic now.
this feels like such a you thing, even though I have never seen you wear this studded belt. I'm very excited. You're like stepping into your full character design.
I thank you for saying so because I really feel that way. I haven't owned one since I was about 15. And given that I'm about to be 35, I feel that I'm really regressing in a profound way that I'm very excited about.
No, absolutely. I'm playing PlayStation and PS2 games now. I haven't done that in 15, 20 years, really. I'm also very much regressing as I reach middle age. It's very strange.
Middle age.
Kevin,
That is? What
Kevin,
do you call
both of
being
you.
35? I'm approaching middle age.
Older than
Kevin,
both
in what
of you,
way
and
are
I
you
don't want
regressing?
it. Am I regressing? I don't know. I don't think so. I dyed a shirt or like a jacket with Kyle, but it's based on
What color? What kind of jacket?
it's a light blue denim jacket that Kyle and I thrifted with pants for them, and then we did a fake Big Bud style magic water tie-dye on it. To
Oh, cute.
mostly good effect. Does that count? I never wore tie-dye as a child, so I don't know if that's really regressing.
I'm gonna say that not only that does answer your fashion trend you wish would come back question.
You're so right.
I also think there's part of it's not necessarily only aging. Some of this is transitioning as well. I care a lot less about what other people think about me.
Oh, that's nice.
Because I know that there's just like some people I'm just they're gonna see me wearing a skirt and they're just gonna like completely dismiss me, and I realize that it doesn't actually affect me at all. Like when I first started like dressing like a woman and like going out, I was like super nervous about like people seeing me, and now I do not give a shit where I am. I don't care if I'm playing on the way home. I played Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4 on my Ambernick handheld, and I had a great time. I did not care about the woman giving me bad glances. just leave me alone.
Just jealous that you were playing Tony Hawk.
Yeah. Maybe that was
The audacity.
Yeah. She was like, you should be playing Thug. What are you doing?
You should be playing video games where you uphold the law as opposed to break it through reckless skateboarding.
Yeah, she thought you were a hooligan. That was the real issue.
Yeah.
I guess that is my regression, is I've been replaying Skyrim, but in full. In a way, I have not played it for a decade, so...
I think that's regressing, Kevin.
Yeah.
But also, I would say that the world is tough.
Listen, there's new
You gotta
stuff
get a
in
little
it.
whimsical with it.
As millennials, it's our job to regress.
Yeah.
So
Everyone thinks we're cringe anyway. It doesn't matter. It
Exactly.
never mattered.
we're free.
It never mattered.
It never
Just-
mattered.
That actually did help, Jen. Thank you.
Anytime.
Hello and welcome to Swim Fans.
Yeah.
Hello and welcome to Swim Fans, Unknown Pleasures. This is your Swim Fans for the week. Craig, okay, is in. He's mysteriously gone missing. There's currently an FBI agent in a small town having like a really bad time trying to figure out where he's gone, what's happened to him. I think it'll be about 2 or 3 seasons long. But I think we'll get to the bottom and have a real straight answer about what happened to Craig.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, I am your co-host. I am Josh. Dear God, I need Tony Long. Mackenzie.
I need a cuck chair built for 2. I'm Jennifer Hawking.
I didn't realize we were going to do a quip.
Yep, we do bits.
You don't have to have one. But we always jump guests with this.
Yeah. You don't have to have one. You can just introduce yourself. It's your first time on the show, so
Long time listener.
we'll be. But you didn't know
then
we
you
do
should have
bits.
known.
Yeah,
Then you
then
should have
there's
known.
no
I
excuse.
should
Now
have
I
known.
want a bit.
Okay, now when I say long time listener, what I mean is I listened religiously when you first came out for 2 years. And then I stopped
Thank
listening
you.
to podcasts altogether.
Thank you. We were still doing it then, though, so you still have to come up with one.
You're so right. I'm going to say Kevin Two-Tone Silk Stanton.
Nice.
Amazing.
It made a big impression on me. I was like green and red.
It was nuts. Okay, we'll talk. We can talk
Yes,
fabric
we'll talk.
as we
Yeah.
go in.
Long time Dove, long time friend of the show, artist, designer, all around, killing it the most. Kevin Jay Stanton, welcome to the show.
So sweet, thank you. I'm very happy to be here.
And as we're fond of jumping our guests, we had Kevin bring us an unknown pleasure this week. We are talking 2000 Wong Kar-wai film, In the Mood for Love.
Just do it.
So if you've not seen In the Mood for Love, this movie stars 2 people in particular. This is Mr. Chow, played by Tony Leung, and this is Mrs. Chan, played by Maggie Chung. So what happens is Mrs. Chan, Mr. Chow move into adjoining rooms with their partners. All right, they're already married. And so they move into like adjoining rooms right next door neighbors in 1960s Hong Kong. So they go about their lives. Both of their spouses are away for various reasons. We see that Mrs. Chan's husband seems to travel quite a bit. I don't know that we get quite a solid reason about why Mr. Chow's wife has gone a lot, but quickly it becomes clear to both the viewers and to our 2 protagonists here that the spouses are having an affair with one another. They are having affairs not only at home, but they are traveling to places like Japan and I think Shanghai, where Mrs. Chan's husband goes on business. So the affair is overseas, it's at home, and it's found because they have bespoke items that could only be acquired from overseas, and both of their respective spouses have got them for them. So they did the math pretty well. So, Mr. Chow and Mrs. Chan, they're not cheaters like their spouses are, but they confess they're curious. They want to know how it got started, what it must have been like. So much of their interactions in the middle through the middle of the movie is them sort of reenacting scenes of how they imagined their spouses must have gotten together. You know, who said what, who did what that must have felt like as they, progressively got closer and closer to transgressing their respective marital contracts. and how that all went down. And so that's fine until Mr. Chow begins to actually develop feelings for Mrs. Chan. Like at first, it's I mean they're friendly, but it's almost like an intellectual exercise, some sort of emotional healing. But he develops real feelings for her. They're spending quite a bit of time together, so he moves out of his room and into a hotel. Because he also quits his job. He's like, what I really want to do is write like kung fu stories for like serial publication. And so she helps him do this, but all of the neighbors begin to sort of see that they're spending a lot of time together. So they get this hotel room, they spend time apart, that kind of thing. Their feelings, I guess, get more intense. They even like rehearse confronting their spouses about the affair. Like there's a scene where Mrs. Chan is like role playing what it would be like if she like made her husband admit the affair. But at the end of the day, it seems like Mrs. Chan is much more reticent to leave her husband than Mr. Chow is to leave his wife. So in order to sort of protect himself, Mr. Chow says, hey, I'm going to go to Singapore. I have a job opportunity. I wish that you would come with me. And he waits around for her in his hotel room, and then eventually she does not show, so he goes to Singapore. But we see that just after he's left, Mrs. Chan does indeed arrive at the hotel room to meet him, but he's already gone. So the movie flashes forward a year. He now lives in Singapore, and he notices that Mr. Chow notices that like things in his room are sort of shifting around. He finds a cigarette butt that has like lipstick on it in his room, and we see that Mrs. Chan has traveled to Singapore. She is sort of like breaking and entering and just sort of like spending time in his room to be close to him. She even one time calls him, but she's unable to say anything, so she just hangs up. And then here at the end of the movie, there's another 3-year time skip. So Mrs. Chan, she goes back to Hong Kong, goes to see where she used to live, and her former landlords are leaving. They rent the place to her for cheap. So she moves in there. And then Mr. Chow also stops by for a visit. He does not see Mrs. Chan, but he goes to his former landlords. And he's like, is the family still there? Who's around? And, of course, the new guy who lives there doesn't know that they knew each other. And he's like, oh, it's a woman and her son. And of course, the sort of star-crossedness of it. Mr. Chow doesn't know that he's describing Mrs. Chan and their, her young son. So they are destined not to meet again. And the very final shot is that earlier in the movie, Mr. Chan had spoken about what to do with a secret. You whisper it into a hole, you cover it up with mud, and you let the secret go. So he goes to Angkor Wat in Cambodia, and he does that very thing, knowing he won't see Mrs. Chan again. So since this is your unknown pleasure, Kevin, I want you to go first. What did you think about this movie?
Glad you said that, because I was like, I know it's not actually unknown, but yeah, I really liked it. I wasn't expecting not to like it, I guess. I like a romance. I like a period piece. But I think I liked it in a way I wasn't expecting, because it came onto my radar as everyone was talking about it with Everything Everywhere All at Once. And so I think I thought it was going to be more painful in a way, like more bittersweet. It is extremely bittersweet, but yeah, I guess I was like, oh, I wasn't a wreck.
Yeah.
But no, I really liked it. I responded to the visuals very significantly. I thought the two leads were unbelievably beautiful in a way that I was like, who is stepping out on them?
That's even in the movie.
Can you imagine?
No, the fact that that's in the movie too, I was like, no, but like seriously, who is who could be? But in that regard, I mean, the stylistic choices of never seeing their married partners. I don't think you ever see any part of Mrs. Chan's husband. They kind of like do a fake out where it seems like Mr. Chow is maybe, obviously that's the visual parallel, but I thought that was really interesting because it lets you like respond to their story without thinking about maybe the other side, because they're also then like enacting or reenacting the other side as they imagine it. I don't know. It was really cool. Also the cinematography. I don't know. There's this one moment, I'm sure we'll talk about it, but when they're having that first dinner together, or not even, I don't, maybe not the first, when they're like having steak with each other and the camera like flits between them really quickly. I had like a moment of genuine like titillation. I was like, oh my God. Which it seemed so I don't know. I guess I thought I knew what, it was going to be these like slow lingering snapshots, these glimpses more than, like full scenes sometimes. So when the camera like really quickly hands to both of them, I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
A film. But yeah, I really liked it. I was happy to see that despite the hype, because sometimes I fall victim to like overhype. Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I've talked to. I think this has come up a lot on the show, but it hasn't come up because I think this is the first Wong Kar-wai film we've actually done, because like his films just don't apply to most Swim fans' blocks.
Yeah,
I would say. But I mean, Wong Kar-wai is one of my favorite directors.
We did Fallen Angels. Sorry.
Oh, we did do Fallen Angels. Yeah. Okay, so I'm sure I already raved about it on that episode. I mean, he's just like top 5, possibly top 3. I've yet to see one that I think doesn't like completely bang. I mean, it's in the mood for love, like it's just like, it's perfect. It's not my personal favorite Wong Kar-wai film because I am who I am, and I think Happy Together is my favorite. Kevin, do you know about that one? It's the gay one.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, fantastic. Yeah, there's the gay Wong Kar-wai film that also stars Tony Leung. And that's my personal favorite. Anyway, so, but like, it might come up soon.
It.
Who knows?
Who knows?
But I mean, I think that he's such an incredible filmmaker. He does so much with just like, to me, like the raw materials of film. Like it's people in a room and you have a camera, and yet he elicits so much. I don't know how he does it. Each of his movies that I've seen half a dozen of them at this point. I have his whole filmography. I should see the rest. But just absolutely, they floor me. I can't believe how like delicate this movie is, but also how completely unwilling it is to give you anything. No catharsis at all. They don't have sex. I don't think they kiss. They don't end up together. There's absolutely no catharsis. It's so bittersweet, but it's just so beautiful. I mean, there's every moment of this film works in totality. The music, the needle drops are great. The fabric is incredible. We can have a whole fabric segment, especially because I think Kevin is one of our premier fabric, the people in our orbit. The actors are Maggie Chung in this movie has got to be one of the most beautiful people alive.
It's unreal.
It is unreal.
And when she grows her hair out, like during the time skip, when she like has like her hair down, I wept. She's so beautiful.
She is so beautiful.
I did enough Tony Leung horny posting during Lust Caution, so I'll spare you this time.
Make a gay man cry.
Top 5 hottest guys in movie history for me.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's in the mood for love. It's like if you, it's one of those movies that it's exactly as good or maybe better than everyone told you it was. It's the Sopranos of movies. It is as good as everybody told you it was.
It is. Yeah. I was, again, I was expecting it to go in a, I think, more dramatic direction. Like that I was expecting to be like weeping on the couch because, some horrible, fate has befallen them. And instead it's this like very quiet, not quite sad, but incredibly bittersweet longing, these tender glimpses like through other people's windows, through plants, through fabric. And I was like, oh wow. Like I was really imagining like, being a lot more sad, and instead I was just so I don't know, enveloped by it. It was I see people like talk about I guess the color of the movie. I see people like talk about that aspect of the cinematography, but it seems so so silly to say. But I was like, oh, this is a movie that was made to be a movie. Like what you're saying, like it really he really takes advantage of like film. I don't know. There was something where I was like, wait, this wasn't actually filmed in the 60s, right? But it felt so
Yeah.
textured and
Mm-hmm.
the personality it sounds so but like the personality of the camera occasionally feeling like a voyeur. I don't know. I was really like
Absolutely.
enraptured by that where I was like sometimes you forget maybe nowadays especially but like that aspect can have a personality that that the camera person is also it's in the storyboard like all of these elements developing the personality of a film not just the actors or the room that they're in that kind of thing. Maybe it's just because I haven't had enough exposure to it but I was like oh wow. Oh my gosh. It was great.
Yeah, front to back, I think this is a masterpiece, and it has earned every nice thing anyone has ever said about it. Like you're saying, it's beautiful. It has the most beautiful people in the world wearing the most beautiful clothing in the world, and you just
Truly.
watch them burn in their feelings for 90 minutes. They go through all this pain, romance, shattered egos, and they find solace in each other. But
Yeah.
they're from Hong Kong, so they're doing their best to not talk about it. But not talking about it is like eating them alive. They can just cut to a shot of two people sitting in silence at a table and enduring all of the pain of being alive. And through it find like this really kind of like genuine expression of like a beautiful connection that's like unstable, but it's also the beautiful unstable connections that like make life worth living in the first place. It's these kinds of sharp edges of like of just like unknown and like the feelings you never felt before that like give your life meaning but also eat you alive and like maybe and at the end of it like maybe even more than like the cuckolding did like eats them alive like he did it he found love understanding beauty and like lived through it and like coming out the other side like did I fuck that up, was that just completely unsustainable, would she have and like is the pain of the secret that I just whispered into this hole more important to me than if it had worked out? All of these questions, which are like the most interesting questions about being alive, or at least the questions that make my personal heart burn the most, are buried so far inside of these characters that like untangling them and just like basking in it is like incredible and it's satisfying, and I just think the world of In the Mood for Love.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know. I took some notes while I was watching it, knowing that we would be talking about it, and I try not to take too many notes because I wanted to like fully be in it.
Yeah,
But
you want to watch it.
like
Yeah.
rereading some of my notes is very funny because they're like in real time. So I have a note that just says, quote, I wonder how it began, end quote, as their own potential romance begins. Wait, are they acting it out?
So I think this movie, it's just, I mean, you've teed me up perfectly, Kevin, that this, I think because I think this movie could run the risk of perhaps being kind of dull if there wasn't this recurring theme of like artifice in it, of them doing this sort of like emotional like role playing, where even you, the audience, are never until like the scene develops, you're never quite sure which is the two leads speaking
Yeah.
or which is the two leads role playing how their spouses got together. And what I think is really great is like the movie finds peaks and valleys for that too. Like you have this exact mechanism being played for sort of like a surprise moment.
Yeah.
When Mrs. Chan is speaking to Mr. Chow, but we don't know that it's him. So this is the scene where she's confronting him, being like, just admit you're having an affair, and he's giving like answers. She's answering, he's being evasive, and finally answers her questions. And then, finally we get the reverse shot, and it's revealed that they're role playing, right? So you have it sort of in this sort of like surprise modality. You have it at the end of the film when they're standing out in the rain, and it becomes clear that like the distance between the role playing and the actual feelings have become so close that there's really no daylight between them anymore. When she's like, don't see me anymore, I can't go with you, and then she's like, my husband is back, and so like they're simultaneously role playing what it would be like to end their relationship while also kind of ending their strange relationship, and so like there's this like sense of artifice of them like using this new strange romance to sort of find meaning to how these people that they had based their lives on, which both of them had also expressed regret for doing, but still, they're quite hurt by this, how they can find like emotional peace with that. And I think that sense of like artifice, of not being sure from one scene to another what's necessarily real or what isn't until the scene sort of develops and ends. I think that's what gives the movie that extra juice, like on top of all of the beautiful visuals, on top of the movie being so unwilling to, pay off in like any sort of like Hollywood sense. For me, the real juice here is this play acting of emotion, how easily that becomes real emotion, how easily we as an audience confuse the two, and thereby how the characters confuse the two. I mean, that's just like the special sauce. That's the Thousand Island dressing on the burger patty for me.
No, I totally agree. I think when it started, I was like, oh, okay, this is going to be a movie about two people whose partners are cheating on them with each other, which, by the way, I was very surprised by. Not the cheating part. I was like, oh, they're both cheating. Wait, with each other?
Yeah.
But then
Yeah.
I was happily surprised that the additional twist, the special sauce, was this kind of heartbreaking. As a viewer, you're like, I want them to get together, but there's no way.
Right.
The emotional toll of pretending to be your cheating partner with your could-be lover who's pretending to be their cheating partner too. And by the end, the like layers of that, like as you said, when Mrs. Chan is confronting who you think might be her husband, and she asks, are you having an affair? I really took it as like, when it's revealed that it is Mr. Chow, I was like, I kind of took it as another layer of like, but are we having an affair? Like she asks him, are you having an affair? And he says, no. And then when she says, yeah, because it's like they do have an affair ultimately. Like it's never consummated. I don't think they kiss. I don't think they've ever gone beyond that in terms of, like the physical action, the cuckolding, as you said. But it is a very real affair, nonetheless. And I think that's where, when she was asking that, I was like, I mean, the answer is yes. Like, they are absolutely having this affair. And listen, I get it. They're both exquisitely beautiful. But it was such an interesting... It's not a non-judgment. Like, the people especially in the apartments, are, like, quite judgmental in a very like quiet neighborly way. But it's also not like so dramatic. It's like, I don't know, I thought it was such an interesting meditation on like what constitutes an affair on the backdrop of this like kind of sweeping yet quiet romance at the same time. I think even if I didn't know I was going to be talking about it with you two today, I would still be very much like chewing on it, because there's so much like in between, I don't know, like all of these scenes that get set up with a certain expectation, and then you're like, are they breaking up? Are they pretending to break up?
Yeah.
There's a lot of like, I don't know what the technical term would be, but they're like cuts where it sort of like flashes back a moment, so you're seeing almost like two moments right after each other, this like hiccup almost. And I felt that way kind of through a lot of the movie where I was just like, I don't know, you set up the scene and I'm not sure who we're seeing in it, but I enjoyed the ride.
Yeah, I think so much of this movie is like what's not said, and so much of this like emotional affair is like being just like sublimated with like or through like these reenactments. And like the gossip of the neighbors is always like, well, you've been spending a lot of time with him. It's never like you are cheating with your husband. It's like, no, people are starting to notice that you're spending a lot of time together. Like no one's ever like coming out directly and like saying the thing that is eating at them. And it's so satisfying to just watch it kind of like, that doesn't fix anything. It actually just kind of makes everything messier. While also preventing anything from happening, and I think that like that concept is just like explored to its fullest. It's remarkable that it's only 90 minutes long too.
It's something that I think is like like just like about this topic of the neighbors of like the reaction to Chow and Chan's relationship, right? Their growing relationship is that you never hear whispers about the spouses who are actually having the affair.
Yeah.
Like that's never the conversation because like there is, and like, I mean, I think the reason for that, like the reason why nobody is ever like wondering about their spouses who are having an affair, and like, yes, a lot of the affair is taking place overseas, but there's at least one scene where it's very much happening, within like 5 feet of each other. I believe it's when Mr. Chow is at work and Mrs. Chan's husband is at her apartment, but she pretends there's nobody there. So like, it's not all remote. So I think the only like sort of filmic emotional reason for that is that there is such a powerful connection between Mr. Chow and Mrs. Chan that like, even though they haven't kissed, they haven't had sex, they've technically not transgressed, everyone around them can sense that there's this romance
radiating off of those two.
Like, have you seen these two? If they're not, they should be.
And it's like so powerful that they don't even notice the people who are actually fucking.
Yeah. They're so hot that everyone's attention is focused like a laser at them.
And one of the neighbors being like, girl, have you seen that? That's crazy.
No. No way they're not fucking, right? Like, look at those two.
But it is interesting because that does kind of, it's interesting to have, I guess, like a deeper characterization, even if it's that quiet, because I think a lot of times I'm used to seeing neighborly characters as like, oh, aren't they so annoying and they're always talking and they're always like in your face. And there's an element of that, in these like overlapping apartments, but there's also like kind of a gentle chiding community aspect to where the one neighbor is basically like, that's so crazy, like the things we do in our youth, however, you do have to leave those things behind. And it's kind of interesting, that ultimately the movie does end with, that it hasn't ended in some physical culmination, but they still had this like really beautiful connection that they do kind of ultimately leave in the, I think it's called like the Flowers of Youth or Flower Like Years. They leave it in their younger years essentially and move on with their two separate lives. But yeah, I don't know. The whole thing just felt like getting a chance to see something we weren't really supposed to see, but this like beautiful, quiet. There are only like 2-3 scenes where they're like unbridled, happy, smiling and whatever, like, which is so strange. They have this like true romance and you only get like these little beautiful glimpses of it. But yeah, of course the neighbors are all like, now come on now. Like, that's me in the back being like, now they're definitely doing something.
There's the
It's
scene
weirder
where
and
they're
stranger.
like, they're like
It is
stuck
weirder
in the,
than that, yes.
There's the scene where they're like stuck in the bedroom for like 2 days. That's the hottest thing I've ever seen.
No. Very sweet. And that's I love the because I guess they're his slippers that she was wearing. Is that, and those are what she takes, if that's what I understood, like from his apartment in Singapore.
Yeah, she at least moves them, but yeah, I think she takes them. Like she steals them.
Yeah.
Such a like quiet, I don't know. Yeah, it was just charmed. I felt very like charmed watching the movie from like those quiet aspects. I mean, my God, the way the whole movie looks unbelievable.
I mean, and like another thing that you said earlier, Kevin, about like the camera work of this movie, I do think it's so vital to the experience. So like, I mean, Hong Kong is a famously condensed place, right? Like, especially compared to America, where things are very big and very spread out because there's just a lot of fucking room. But Hong Kong is quite condensed, and the camera work in here is, in a lesser movie, it would be claustrophobic. In The Mood for Love, it's like intimate, but also cramped, complimentary.
Yeah.
Yes.
There are so many shots through like various windows, or like shots where you're shooting through just very like architecture or clutter or something, because things are just on top of each other, like real estate's at a premium, so things go up, things get narrower, just as like a necessity. And so the camera work not only, I think, reinforces that feeling of urban narrowness, of that kind of thing, but it also finds a way, like I think, like you were saying, to capture that sort of that intimacy, that almost voyeuristic feel. And I think choosing to remain so close is a big part of the character of the movie. I mean, you really only get wide shots. I mean, even when they're going for noodles, I think those are only like medium shots. Like maybe the widest shot you get is when Tony Leung is standing in the hallway when he's going to leave for Singapore without her. You get like this, maybe the first time you see his feet in the whole movie. It's this pan up of his full body in the hallway with like the billowing curtains. And so there's this intimacy, this closeness, but also it feels like you're not supposed to be that close. You're not supposed to be looking the way that you're looking, and it perfectly echoes the film, and gives it that amazing character.
Yeah, it's not like overly flashy. It's not. They're not just like good compositions for good composition's sake. They're very in the spaces, and because everything's so like just remarkably set designed, it like shows all of that to you in like an interesting way. With like through all the like the 60s-ness of everything on screen.
Yeah, I think that's what I like, coming at a movie that's now somehow 26 years old, but has undoubtedly been copied, or like has inspired so many things. I wasn't like unfamiliar, like, it's glimpses, so the camera's, it's moving, it's behind a wall, those kinds of things, but it fits so well with the movie. It, as you said, it wasn't just, that's a beautifully composed shot. Like, everything felt like there was no other place for the camera to be other than it's basically on the top of a filing cabinet, and there's a plant in the way, and Tony Leung is smoking the most beautiful cigarette that has ever existed. And all we can see is half
to be
of a
that
plume.
cigarette.
To be that cigarette. But no, it really did feel so intentional, and it felt, I don't know, I think that's why when the camera kind of like flicks between the two of them, I was so like, oh my God, because it just ended up being, it sort of like reinforced that like everything that happened before that and happens afterwards in terms of the camera work, it's all very intentional and very thought out. It's not just, dreamy little scenic vistas of, oh, it's moving on,
Yeah.
off screen, those kinds of things. I was like, oh, how delightful. How incredible. Intention,
That- Yeah. That shot of like the camera sliding across the frame is so jarring. It really reminds me of that scene in Fatal Attraction where Michael Douglas and Glenn Close are at the restaurant, and it like the camera just like moves behind them when they decide to have the affair. It's the same kind of like intentionality and like dramatic cinematic language. Because I think here it's when he finally is like, you have the same bag because they're cheating or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
it's like the part where, all right, like games are kind of over. Here's what's happening, which is one of the few times that really happens in this movie. People really go out of their way to not express themselves in any way, even when it could like remarkably improve their life. But you kind of like get why they're waiting for like kind of
Totally.
something magic to happen, like especially when she goes to like the hotel room. Is it in Singapore? And she leaves her like cigarette there. There are ways you can get a hold of someone in another city to inform them that you're on the way. She does not do those because she wants the magic, baby.
Yeah, because eventually you do have to ask yourself, why are they not getting together, right? Because maybe I'll get my ass beat for this. It can't be any worse than Ghost isn't cheating. If your partners are cheating on the both of you with each other, I think it's fair game. You drew first blood already. I think it's not cheating anymore.
I think you at least get like first dibs. You're like, should we? I mean,
you might as well.
To be clear, it's hotter that they don't fuck in this movie, but I do
I
think
agree.
you're right.
That's not where I'm going.
No,
with this. I'm just saying,
absolutely. I completely agree with you.
Yeah, you can all. Yeah, I don't know. Add it to my list, my weird list of what is and isn't cheating. I feel like if your partners are already cheating on the both of you with each other, it's fair game. Doesn't matter. So you're like, okay, so then they have license to get together, and then they go on. I think it's implied. I don't know if it's a line, but I think Mr. Chow does leave his wife, whereas Miss Chan does not leave her husband.
Yeah.
So like there is now like the geographical space, there is less like societal pressure because they're no longer being watched by these more traditional family units to sort of comply with standards that would be placed upon them. So when she goes to Singapore, you're like, oh my God, just say something.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think Jennifer's right. Like, I think that Mr. Chow and Mrs. Chan are waiting for magic to happen. Like they're waiting for fate or serendipity or something to force them together. And you do have to leave the movie wondering if, like Jen said, if they found the star-crossedness of it more meaningful than the relationship itself. And what's the difference between that, right? Like, what's the difference between wanting something to go forward, but you're just waiting for the universe to do it for you, or preferring the wanting to the having? And if it is indeed different, in what way is it meaningfully different? And like the movie, like just sort of like gives you those concepts. It doesn't explore them because the characters aren't exploring them. It just gives you those concepts, and you just have to live with that forever now. And it's like, what things are you whispering into proverbial holes and sealing with mud, viewer?
I mean,
It's like Orpheus and Eurydice. Gotta turn around, baby. They ain't getting out that cave.
It's Orpheus and Eurydice all the way down.
all the way down. I mean, it's a hell of a lot more compelling as art, certainly. I think if we had friends who were like, it's so crazy, my partner, but they're also cheating with their partner. So wild. So now we're play acting what it would be like to cause them to get together in the first place, so I can get a sense of that. I'd be like, yeah, that's so cool. I don't think that's a great foundation for a relationship, though. Hey, Diva, I'm not so sure about this one, actually.
I fear you're not coping.
You may just need to properly express your feelings at some point.
Yeah, like, so certainly the artifice will be yanked away, and you'll be like, "And I love you," right? I still don't know. I don't know. I don't know. They're going to have to come to multiple brunches with me, and I will make that call myself. But in the movie, I was like, oh, I know they're not going to get together, and they probably shouldn't, but what if they did? They're so beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm glad. I always think about the push and pull of, I think about this in relation to like sequels a lot when something has ended. The idea that like, keep them wanting more makes better art ultimately. Like it keeps me wanting like, oh, if only they had, if only she'd said something when she'd called, why didn't those kinds of things. But
yeah,
it would not be nearly as touching or beautiful if the three of us had been there and been like, I don't know, I really think you should use your words, not your partner's
Girl,
words
just
that
do
you're
it.
pretending. Yeah.
Girl, just try
Girl,
it.
cut his hair once in a while. See what happens. We're all thinking that, right? No?
Yeah, me taking a huge sip out of those divine, like soft green translucent coffee cups. I'm like, girl, just do it.
I want to be so clear. I would have thought this even if we weren't going to be talking about this on a film podcast, but I was like, the green, they're slightly translucent. I was like, I'm all in. These are all intentional. The green versus the red, I'm seeing what's happening here. Okay, this is cinematic language. But yes, I did notice those cups very often, and I was like, where would I buy these? where can I find these?
I genuinely want them. They're this soft like jade color. I assume they're plastic because I don't think there's any way stone could become translucent. I don't
absolutely.
know.
Porcelain.
Okay,
this is why we have Kevin on here.
I'm sorry. Yeah. I want you to know, I sat up like I was.
The magic has arrived.
Like I was like, oh, these porcelain, this jadeite, okay. I see you, 1964.
I'm like, is it plastic?
I loved your cup with the lid on it. Oh, that looked very 60s to me.
Oh, I loved it. I loved the like practical, like it is a period piece. It feels so 60s, like even though whatever. But
there are shades of orange in here I have never seen outside of my grandfather's house.
Yeah.
But yeah, the like cup with a lid that the like thermos that they had for the noodles.
You guys, the noodle thermos.
The noodle thermos.
I want. I made Matt watch it with me, and I'm like, I need her like noodle vessel so badly, and he's like, so that's just a soup thermos, and I'm like, but I want that one.
You don't understand, Matthew.
What you don't understand about me right now, Matt, is that I need this exact one, or I will die.
I need this one and a place to buy noodles within walking distance, or I'm gonna fucking kill you, Matt.
I was gonna say, the three of us live in a city. Why is there no place we could go to get a fucking thermos filled with soup?
The thing is, there definitely is, Kevin, but I can't go in my beautiful dress, okay, sort of depressed, but in a beautiful way. To get my noodles, okay? It's going to be a mortifying experience where I go to the ramen shop and I just get an order of noodles.
That's a skill issue. I do that regularly.
Yeah, so right.
But the difference is we have takeout containers now, so a little bit of this magic is unnecessary.
I know. I literally, I'm watching this movie going, are takeout containers a mistake? Should I just have a thermos?
Yes. Yeah. They're so wasteful.
Absolutely.
I know they're so wasteful.
Have a noodle thermos.
God, I need to have a noodle thermos. When one of the characters, I think it's one of the neighbors, comments that that Mrs. Chan, does she go get her noodles looking like that? I was like, why don't you shut up? Why don't you shut up right now? We should all be so lucky. dare you? She's probably
I'll slap
making
the
that noodle
taste
man's
out of
day.
your mouth, bitch.
I don't want to ever hear words out of your mouth that's not, her chi pao looks incredible, and I'm lucky to be seeing it, okay?
Also, it's not nice because that's just how Mrs. Chan looks at work. And of course you eat dinner after work. Like what you're going to put on your sweatpants to go get the noodles? No, you're coming from work.
Literally.
Be
The
for real.
wardrobe was so good. Like I partially because, you know, I've looked at like fabric samples for projects before, but partially because I've always had like an interest in clothing too. A lot of like people who do wardrobe and set design talk about like the importance of fabric quality, especially when looking at like vintage work of like you can't put a beautiful man in some like polyester suit and expect it to like drape or to like move with him at all. His suits were like clearly so like every garment in this was so beautifully made that it feels like the time, but it also, I mean, the two of them are movie stars, like capital M movie stars.
It's hyper real.
But God, and I love, this is such a weird thing to think because, like, of course, you know, a movie that's a slice of life, she's going to have a limited wardrobe, like that's just realistic. But I loved getting to see when she would like rewear one of her chi pao. Because I'm like, oh, of course, like she doesn't have like 20 of these. She has like 6, and they're all the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life.
I love the one that reminds me of like.
Is it the daffodil?
It's the
that one's
Kevin.
so
You know,
good.
I don't know. Kevin, you know, I don't know what a flower is. It's the white. It's the one that looks like a teapot, right? So it's like white and it has the blue floral pattern on it.
Oh,
and
yes.
it's just the blue on white, and I was like, it's elegant. It's elegant to me.
Yeah.
The one that she has like this blue one with a bright yellow daffodil that I really love.
Yeah.
But I love the she has 2 that are like, I think they're all silk, but she has the one that's like a red and green. It has like a green with an overtone of red, maybe. That catches so beautifully. Yeah. And she has one that's like, it's all stripes of silk, like in a really beautiful palette. And I was like, man, do I throw out every clothing I have ever?
Listen,
if it's not building off of that specific cheap house, what am I doing? You know, my version.
Is it even fabric?
Yeah.
Is it even fabric?
Yeah.
I'm not wearing silk every day. I don't know. These are the questions.
You can always start.
No, you're so right. I mean, I sort of am.
That's true. I've been to your home.
I mean, I'm literally sitting in a room with a silk boudoir robe that I'm making. So, you know, I'm going for it.
I think my last like major thing, it's just like, I mean, this is one of those movies whose like making is kind of a miracle. Like very famously, In the Mood for Love was made in the editing room.
Yeah.
The In the Mood for Love that we know is made in the editing room. So like, I don't know details on this per se, but like the original, like the footage that was shot and presumably the original script had much more like plot in it. Like there was a lot more events that were happening in the movie. And very, very famously in film lore, this is one of the ones where like, as they were cutting the film together, you know, the whole production team would discard anything that isn't completely vital to these two characters, to this sort of like emotional journey that they're going on. And, you know, we're left with a movie where like in an A to B to C sense, like very little happens. But there's so much humanity that happens. And it's just one of those, I think, like filmic kismet stories where like this final step completely changed the product and made it something, you know, that's so iconic for generations to come. I love stuff like that. Makes me believe in magic.
I think they shot for like over a year, which is like fucking insane.
That's crazy.
For a 90-minute end result.
With like fairly limited locations as well, you know, like
Yeah.
Yeah, because apparently that was also a struggle because, this was shot in the late 90s in Hong Kong, which obviously looks very different from the early 60s in Hong Kong. Apparently they were very limited in their sets and their shooting locations, which I'm sure is part of the reason why things are so close. In camera. Amazing. It's those little things those limitations that I don't know, just make it feel like magic, I guess.
Josh, what version of it did you watch? So there's two different versions of it. The difference is the color grading. It's not any like plot difference.
Oh, that's a good question. I didn't watch my Wong Kar-wai box set version because I was laying in bed and I was lazy.
Oh, you were comfy.
I was comfy, and there's no Blu-ray player in the bedroom. I would have had to get up and sit on the couch, which is beneath me. I'm actually not sure which one I watched. I would love to hear the difference, though.
Yeah. So the original release is significantly more red, and then for the World of Wong Kar-wai like collection or whatever, it's like color graded to fit better in like that series. So it has a lot more of like a green overcast to most things instead of red. And I know it's like very controversial, but I own the standalone Criterion that came out like forever ago, and I own the box set. I didn't really do any like side-by-side comparisons, but I usually just default to my single release. I was just curious if you had...
Oh, you know what? It had to have been the Criterion because, it had the Criterion bumper on it beforehand. So it must have been...
Criterion put them both out.
Oh. Son of a bitch. Well, then who knows? I mean, like,
did it look green?
Like, well, the thing is, when I think of In the Mood for Love, I think of red either way, because there's like the red imagery, I think, is the most striking. I would say it wasn't like overly red, but I mean, I guess I noticed the greens too. It seems like maybe it's not the original version.
Yeah, you probably just saw the recent remaster, which I mean, it's probably still a completely fine way to watch that movie. It never matters. It doesn't matter.
I'm a rube, so it's still gorgeous to me.
I fully think stuff like that is unnecessary to sweat too much about. It's lesser than the changes to Fallen Angels, which I have a bit more of a problem with.
Yeah, or like the Warriors.
Oh, that's something else. That's like George Lucasing. That's a bigger problem.
I really don't know. I'm looking at like a side-by-side comparison, and even though I just watched it, I'm like, I don't know which one was it. It's hard to know, but I also watched one with the Criterion.
I want to look.
Let me pull up one of my Psycho websites.
Yes.
I really can't remember. Now I'm looking at like standalone. I'm looking at comparisons now. I want to say it was the 2021 one though. That seems more.
So this is a website called Capsaholic. It is pure fucking for psychos. Like you have to have like problems to know about this website. So what it does is it'll give you, in this case, 16 matching stills from each version, and then you can click on 1 through 16, and then you click into the image, and it'll blow up just that section. When you mouse over it, it will change between the two versions. I say this is like this website is functionally useless because when you're watching a movie, you're not comparing two film stills, right? You're existing in time with a work of art. The things that may bother you that are revealed in Capsaholic are not a real problem when you are watching it on a TV. This is Psycho
I love this
Zone.
so much. I love this so much.
Yeah, that's the level.
You should be
internet.
Unnerved that something like this exists.
No, I'm thrilled. These are the kinds of things the internet was made for.
It is.
Do you know what? Men used to build the Taj Mahal for their loved ones. Okay, now they build Capsaholic.com, and I think that's beautiful.
And then if you scroll down a bit further, it like gives you like the video compression details and like the bit rate and like.
Oh my god!
It's fucking psychotic.
I love that.
10 out of 10 for capsaholic.com. This is the real shit. But if you look at if you go to if everyone listening could move to screenshot number 7, which is the smoke under the light, you'll notice that it's significantly more green in the World of Wong Kar-wai version. Like, it's remarkably different. It doesn't matter, but it's different.
Yeah, I'm just because I'm getting like confirmation bias, just trying to like look at them side by side. I'm pretty sure it must have been the World of Wong Kar-wai, though. Which is the only version that I own on disc anyway. But I mean, honestly, I don't mind the green. I think it's pretty both ways.
It is.
Yeah,
it was unbelievably beautiful.
I'm sorry that I have alerted you to the existence of this website.
No, I'm gonna be. I keep clicking on new images and then mousing over them to see the differences. Do either of you have any final thoughts about In the Mood for Love?
No, I really appreciated that you asked me when I guess it was 2 days ago when we were talking about this. I sent Josh. I have a list of like movies I should watch that I haven't gotten around to, and I tried to like think of something that would be more kind of in the theme of Swim Fans, like more along the lines of like a thriller or but after we were talking, I was just kind of like, this is my number one of like, I know I should have watched this movie before, and it's the perfect excuse to watch it now. And so, I don't know, it was really nice to be able to like sit down and watch something that was like truly special and visually exciting, because I've been going through a Technicolor phase where I was watching a lot of movies that just were filmed using Technicolor, and so, some of them used it well, most of them completely waste wildly expensive technology. But that's meant like watching a lot of movies that sometimes were very beautiful, but I was not in any way compelled by. And this has been kind of like the perfect sweet spot of a movie that's in like the parameter of my interest that also surprised me, despite being a 26-year-old movie. I was like delighted that it was going to be like a new tact to me on romance, but also on affairs. And it was beautiful. Like I just, to sit down for 90 minutes and focus on such a like beautiful, quiet, compelling movie with 2 stars that are so beautiful. Yeah, it was really great. I appreciated the chance to do it.
Of course. I mean, thank you so much for doing that.
Yeah. Thanks for coming
really
on.
My pleasure. No, I mean, I love talking to you too and hanging out with both of you, but I really appreciate you like bringing me on to talk about this too.
Yeah, long overdue.
Especially after Kyle's been on all these times and you're filming in my apartment.
I know, I think what we really need to be discussing is why Kyle would exclude you so cruelly.
You're so right.
Somehow this is all Kyle's fault. I got some shit I need to whisper into a tree about what I want to do to Kyle delete a skull with a rock.
It's not a secret now.
What? I didn't give you any details.
The podcast is the whole.
He whispered into the podcast microphone.
Yeah, the listener's ear is the mud.
Awesome.
I can't believe I have to explain that to Kyle now.
I mean, this is a 5-star movie to me. This isn't like a hot take.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's perfect to me.
Easy 5.
Yeah,
fuck you.
If you don't agree, like pseudo sequel to it.
Yeah, his like the trilogy that this is a part of, or spiritual trilogy.
Do you recommend it?
Yeah, it's really good.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, 2046 I think is the one that's right after this, which there's a nod to in the movie, by the way, which is cute. So I've seen that one. I haven't seen the one that precedes this though.
Same actually.
The next time you're in New York, maybe we we watched the one that came before this. I definitely want to watch the sequel, partially because I just want to see
good.
more of them, and partially because it also has Gong Li in it, who I love.
I mean,
She's
for you,
wild.
I mean, for you, I would definitely say, because we're, of a similar kind, I would say that you should see Happy Together. That should be your next one.
Oh yeah, no, I already have a tab pulled up, so I can.
Yeah.
Have you seen
but,
Miami Vice 2006?
No.
Gong Li's
It's
in
not-
that
it's
one
n-
too.
Okay, I'm taking note. Now they're both for gay reasons, but for two totally different gay reasons. I respect that from. Thank you both for your incredible recommendations in that regard. Don
Anyway,
Lee,
let's-
Tony Lung. Okay.
Let's wrap this up.
Yeah. Kevin, thank you so much for being on the show. Where can people find you online?
I'm on Instagram and Blue Sky and Tumblr with Kevin Jay Stanton.
There's so much to see on Kevin's social media.
A lot of
You would do
plants
yourself a
mostly.
favor. Is there anything you have seen recently that you feel you would like to talk about very briefly, either positively or negatively?
I will give a neutral response and say that I saw both Wuthering Heights and The Bride. You and I can't discuss Wuthering Heights, but I would love to watch The Bride with you sometime.
I have to see The Bride. I haven't seen it yet.
Okay,
Same.
let's watch it. I had thoughts.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. You can find the show wherever you get your podcasts. So that is Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you're listening. Please rate, please review,
Yes,
please
sir.
subscribe. Please do all that stuff. Thank you. The show is also on social media. Blue Sky, Instagram, Letterboxd, user SwimFansPod. Give us a follow over there. And we are on Patreon, patreon.com/swimfans. For as low as $1 a month, you can get access to all of the back catalog. So if you'd like to do that, and thank you to all the patrons who already have. And then you can find me online in all the same spots, user Amons, AMONNS, Blue Sky, Instagram, Letterboxd, everywhere pretty much. I just saw Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie.
Oh my god.
Did you see it?
Yes, I loved it so much.
Okay, I liked it less than everybody else I know.
Okay.
But okay, I'm not going to spoil anything about it. I'm not going to say anything about it. I just didn't think it was my kind of humor, and I didn't really think it was that funny. However, I thought the whole experience was very amusing, and I was very amused the entire time. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't laughing out loud, but I thought everything in it was fun, and I liked to see it. And I now have a huge crush on Jay McCarroll. That guy is so hot to me.
It's crazy.
I need it. Jay, if you're listening, okay, I'm single. Jen.
Watching him in like Matt Johnson have to share a frame together is like fucking so funny. I'm sorry, I'm gonna bleep some of this, but like the fucking scene and then the scene, two of the hardest I've ever laughed in a movie theater. I had such a good fucking time.
The scene was crazy, man.
So apparently all of that, like the fallout after the
Insane.
it's incredible.
I
My
mean,
god.
Okay, wait, let's save some of this for the Patreon episode.
Okay, I did want to talk about
yeah,
it there too.
yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna bleep a lot of that. You can follow me on Blue Sky Diatron5.swimfanspod.com. I'm on Letterboxd Diatron. I rewatched the movie Under the Cherry Moon, which is like Prince's vanity project he made after like Purple Rain was a huge hit. It's still not very good, but it is it remains fascinating if you're into Prince. If you are a fan of Prince, it is like it is a special kind of unfiltered glimpse into like what goes on inside the brain of Prince. It's this uncut fantasy, and it's like what's Prince's like uncut fantasy, and it's like being really physically close with naked men. It's so strange.
And I've always said that.
Yeah. It's just like what if like my best friend and I were just naked and like really comfortable with each other, but then I'm also like into this girl. And then famously the album that goes with it is Parade, and so there's one scene where the song Kiss plays, and the moment it kicks in is absolutely incredible. The scene goes on too long after it kicks in, but the moment it kicks in is really good. And then the album Parade is like fucking phenomenal. Big ups to Parade. I was about to say Craig, he's not here. Congratulations though, man.
He probably doesn't want people to know that yet.
I didn't say anything. I said
I said that he's currently missing and being hunted for sport.
Okay,
and that's the official.
okay, sorry, I'll do some bleeping on that too.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.